Hello guys, welcome back to TechDose, and in this video we will see the Kahn's algorithm, which is used to find topological sort using the BFS algorithm, and I will also show you the core schedule problem which I have already explained in the topological sort algorithm using DFS plus stack in my previous video, and that is from LeetCode number 210. So this is a very good basic level practice question for finding topological sort. Now before moving on to finding topological sort, you should remember few points. A graph must be directed acyclic, that is a DAG, for topological sort to be found. A directed acyclic graph always have a node with n degree equals to 0 and another node with out degree equals to 0. There can be more than one nodes with n degree equals to 0 and more than one nodes with out degree equals to 0, but there should be at least one node having n degree equals to 0 and at least one node which is having out degree equals to 0. So this is having a proper proof. You can find it on internet. So the proof is the longest path between the two nodes in a directed acyclic graph is always finite. Okay. Therefore, the above point, that means this point, holds true. And why is that? Let us say the longest path is finite and we know that the longest path is equals to 2. Now this is our given graph. Now in this graph, we can try to add a new node and then say that the longest path is now equals to 3. But we already know that the longest path is equals to 2, therefore we cannot add a new node. And what happens to the graph if we form an edge from this node to back to the first node? Then in this case, this will no longer be a directed acyclic graph, this will become a cyclic graph. In a directed acyclic graph, since the longest path is finite, therefore there will be no cycle. So you can see the proof on internet. There is a proper proof for this. Now how to find the topological sort and what is topological sort? Well, I have explained this in much detail in the previous video, so you can watch that and come back here. The link will be present in the description below. In that video I have explained how to find topological sort using DFS plus stack. Okay. In this case I will be using the BFS algorithm, which is also known as this Kahn's algorithm. Now the topo sort is a linear ordering of vertices such that every directed edge uv, such that there is a directed edge from u to v, vertex u will always come before vertex v in linear ordering. So this will be linear. Okay. Now in this graph, as you can see, if you consider these two nodes, then there is a edge from 2 to 1. Therefore, no matter what topological sort ordering you take, 2 will always occur before 1. So this is one topological sort ordering. The second ordering is having this 2 before 1. Third ordering is also having this 2 before 1. So if there is an edge from u to v, then u will always come before v. This is the logic for topological sort. Okay. Now how do we solve this problem? Actually, in the Kahn's algorithm, we will be using BFS plus a queue. Okay. Now why do we use a queue? Actually a queue is needed to keep track of the BFS calls. Okay. So this is basically from the BFS implementation. If you do not understand this, then you should watch my video on BFS implementation. Link will be present in the description below. Now we will be seeing step by step. Let's say we are given this graph. Then from this graph we will form the adjacency list. Now once we have the adjacency list, then from the property of the DAG, that is the directed acyclic graph, we will have to take the n degrees, because taking the n degree we will be able to identify which node is basically the starting point of a topological sort. Okay. So in this graph you can see that there are two nodes with n degree equals to 0. So whenever you have n degree value equals to 0 for any nodes, then those can start the topological sort. Okay. Now in this case there are two nodes which are having n degree equals to 0. So how do we actually calculate this n degree array? What we will do is we will take an n degree array whose size will be equals to the number of nodes in our given graph. So in this graph we have 6 nodes numbered from 0 to 5. So I will take an n degree array of size 6, and using this adjacency list, what I will do is I will traverse and then I will mark the n degree values. So I will start iterating from 0. Now for 0 there is no adjacent nodes, so we will go to 1. For 1 also there is no adjacent nodes, we will go to 2. For 2 there is one adjacent node which is 1. Therefore the n degree of 1, which was initially 0, will be incremented by value 1. Okay, and for this 3 we will again iterate for all these elements, and for this 0, n degree value initially was 0 and now it will be incremented by 1. Like this we will traverse this entire adjacency list, and after incrementing all the adjacent node values, the n degree value will come out to be this. This is our final n degree array. Okay, so the first step is to find the n degree of all the vertices. Once you have calculated this, we will move on to the second step. In the second step, we will create a queue for BFS to be applied. We will push all the nodes with n degree equals to 0 into our queue. This is because the nodes with n degree equals to 0 can become the starting points of our topological sort. Okay, from this graph you can see that there are no incoming edges for this node 4 and node 5. Therefore their n degree values will be 0 and they will become the candidate for coming to the starting position of topological sort. So we will be pushing 4 and 5 into our queue. Okay, and this is our front position. Now our queue is also formed, and now what we will do in the next step, we will start processing our queue. So how do we process it? Well, before processing, I will also take a count variable which will keep count of how many nodes are processed. This will be useful. I will explain you later why. So from this graph, let us say we are processing this node first, that is 4, and I will also be writing topological sort here. Okay, so processing here basically means that we will be removing this vertex from our graph. So when we are removing this vertex 4 from our graph, then these two edges will be gone. Therefore the n degree of 0 and 1 will both be decremented by value 1. So the initial n degree of 0 is 3, so it will become 2. Initial n degree of 1 is 2, and so it will become 1. Okay, and now this node has been taken out from the graph. So the graph is now having only 5 nodes. 4 is now not present in the graph. Okay, so this node 4 has now been processed, and so since one node has been processed, our count value will be incremented by 1. Now our front of the queue will now move to 5. So now we will process 5. So we will go to this 5, and the adjacent nodes are 0, 3. So when we remove this 5, then the adjacent nodes will get affected, that is 0 and 3 will get affected. So if we remove this 5, then these two edges will be gone, and therefore the n degree of 0 and n degree of 3 will both be decremented by value 1. So n degree of 0 is 2, so it will be decremented and it will now become 1. N degree of 3 is 1, so it will be decremented to a value 0. Okay, so as soon as a node's n degree value reaches 0, we will have to push that node into the queue. So we will push this node 3 into our queue, and now 5 has now been processed. So we will pop this element, and we will also increment the counter by 1 value since 2 nodes have now been processed. Okay, and by the way, as soon as we are popping it, we will also keep it in our answer vector, which will be nothing but our topological sort. So when we pop this 4, so we will be inserting 4 into our answer vector. When we pop 5, then we will be inserting 5 in our answer vector. Okay, so the next node which needs to be processed is 3. So for 3, you will go to this 3. Now 3 is having adjacent nodes as 0, 2. So if you remove this node 3, then it will affect node 0 and node 2. So let us remove this node 3. Then the incoming edges to 0 will decrement by 1, and incoming edges to 2 will also decrement by 1. So the value at 0 is 1. So it will be decremented by 1, it will now become 0. As soon as the value reaches 0, it will be pushed into the queue. Now we will process this 2. For 2, our n degree value is 1. So it will now be decremented by value 1, it will be 0. As soon as it reaches 0, it will now be kept in the queue. Okay, now all the adjacent nodes have now been processed. So we will assume that we have processed this node 3. As soon as we are done with the processing, we will remove it from our queue. We will insert it in our answer vector. We will also increment our counter variable, which is showing that 3 nodes have now been processed. Okay, now we will move on to the next node 0. So 0 is actually not having any adjacent node. So if we remove this 0, then none of the nodes will get affected in terms of in degree. Okay, so we can directly remove this node 0. So let us assume this node 0 is now removed. Now this 0 has been processed, so 0 will be included in our topological sort, and count will also be incremented by value 1 since another node has now been processed. Similarly, we will go to this node 2. Now when we go to this node 2, then this is having an adjacent node which is 1. Then if we remove this node 2, then 1 will get affected. Okay, so let us assume that we remove this node 2, and if we remove this node 2, then the value of 1 will get decremented and it will now be 0. Since it is 0, it will be pushed into the queue. Okay, and now 2 has now been processed. So we will insert 2 into our answer vector, and we will remove this 2 and we will increment the counter, saying that we have now processed 5 nodes. Now this is the last node 1. Okay, so when we see this 1, then the adjacency list is not present for 1. This is empty. That means we can directly remove this 1 without affecting anybody else. Okay, so this will be removed and you will write 1 in your answer vector, and you will also increment the counter value, it will be 6. Okay, so this is the entire algorithm. In this algorithm, the first step was we were finding the in degree for all the vertices. Once it is found, then we were pushing the starting positions by seeing the in degree value equals to 0. Whichever nodes can be the starting points, they will be first pushed into our queue. And now we will be applying just the BFS algorithm, okay, in the third step. So we will pick out each and every node from the front of the queue, and then we will process it. In this case, processing is nothing but removing the node from the graph. So when we remove a node from the graph, then all the adjacent nodes will get affected and their in degree values will get decremented by 1. So we will basically be traversing the adjacency list for the node which we want to remove, and we will decrement the in degree values by 1 for all the adjacent nodes. Okay, so the in degree calculations will be done in our in degree array, and the queue will be taking care of the next node to be processed, and this counter will keep track of how many nodes we have actually processed at the end of this algorithm. And this is our answer vector, that is our answer array, which will be storing the order, which is the topological sort. Okay, now we will see why did we use this count. So if count is not equals to the number of nodes present in graph, then the graph will not be a directed acyclic graph, and therefore we will just return false, that is topological sort cannot be found. And why is it true? If count is not equals to number of vertices, then graph is not a directed acyclic graph. Therefore it contains a cycle, and so topo sort is not possible. Let us assume this example. In this case we have 4 nodes, so the in degree calculations will be like this. For 0, there is no incoming edge, therefore in degree value will be 0. For 1, there are 2 incoming edges, therefore in degree value is 2. And for 2 and 3, incoming edges are 1, therefore in degree values will be 1. Now let us process this using the same algorithm. So first you will take a queue, okay, and there you will push all the nodes which can be the starting position. So there will be only one node because it is having in degree value 0. Now once you have pushed this node 0, then you will try to remove this node. So when you remove this node, then this node 1 will only get affected and its in degree value will be decremented by 1. So this will now be 1. Okay, now this is processed. Now the queue is empty and there is no node in this in degree array which is having a value 0. This 0 is already processed, by the way. So there is no other node with value 0. Therefore nothing will be pushed in the queue, and since your queue is empty, it will come out of your while loop. It will come out of your BFS call. Okay. So in this case, the number of nodes which are processed is equals to 1. So count will be equals to 1. But you can see that the number of vertices are basically 4. So number of vertices are not equals to your count value, that is number of nodes processed, and therefore you can assume that this is not a directed acyclic graph. This must be a cyclic graph. So for taking care of the cycle condition, we had to use this counter. Okay. Now what is the time complexity? Well, the time complexity will be order of v plus e. We are basically doing 3 steps. The first step is filling in degree. So the in degree array can be filled in order of v plus e time. Second step was filling the queue. So we were just traversing through the in degree array and we were filling the entire queue with the nodes having in degree value equals to 0. So that is also order of v plus e. Actually this will be order of v, and the third step is processing the queue, which will take order of v plus e since we are processing each and every node only once. So these three will all be added and the total time complexity will be order of v plus e. Let us now look at the code for course schedule 2 problem, and I have already explained that problem in my previous topological sort video, so do watch it. In this code we are given the number of courses and we are given the prerequisites array. So from there I will be forming the adjacency list, and while forming the adjacency list I will also be populating the in degree array, which will be counting the number of incoming edges for a given vertex. Okay. After calculating the in degree array, this is step 1 actually. Now we will apply the Kahn's algorithm. So let us see the algorithm. Actually that is a iterative process. So this is the algorithm. Here I have taken the adjacency matrix, that is the adjacency list. This is the number of vertices. This is the in degree array, and this is our answer vector. Now the second step is to populate the queue. So we will be searching the in degree array and we will be finding the nodes having in degree value 0, and we will be pushing it into the queue. This is our second step. Now our third step is to process the queue. So we will pop each and every element one by one and we will process. That means we will remove that node from the graph, and then we will update the in degree values for all the adjacent nodes. So here we are popping the node, we are keeping it into the current variable, and then we are processing all the adjacent nodes. That is, we are decrementing the in degrees for all the adjacent nodes by value 1. Now whenever the adjacent node in degree value reaches 0, then we will push that node into our queue. Okay. Now after processing all the adjacent nodes, we will come out and we will simply push the current node which is now processed into our answer vector as I had shown you. And after that I will also increment the count value, which will be nothing but counting the number of nodes processed. Since this one is processed, so we will increment the counter value by 1. After processing each and every node, we will come out and see if count value is not equals to null. If it is not equals to null, then obviously the graph is not a directed acyclic graph, there must be a cycle, and so we will return false. Otherwise we will return true. So this is the entire algorithm, and I hope you understood it. If you have any type of doubt or problem, then do comment below and I'll try to help you as soon as possible. Like and share our video and subscribe to our channel in order to watch more of this programming videos. See you in our next video. Thank you.